All right, I think we're live. I'm pretty sure we're live. Yeah, probably. Hey, welcome everybody. Sorry, I'm hearing a click because I've got a click running. Yes, we are live. Excellent. Hey, Fuad Darwich. I probably pronounced your name wrong, but hey, thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. From France, of all places, man. Mark, always good to have you. And Coyote Boy. You know, that's a funny word. I always think about that, like how Americans ruin other languages by Americanizing them. And coyote is such a cool word. And coyote is like the worst way we can say it. Hey, welcome everyone. As you're coming in, please do me a favor. Say hi. Tell me where you're from. I totally forgot. I've got to tune my bass. Here's the thing. I've got a pedal board up here with a whole bunch of goodies, and a tuner is one of them. However, we're bypassing that today to check out this really cool rig over here that I'll talk about in a second. But I also forgot to tune my bass. So I'm going to have to kind of keep going. Actually, I could put a tuner in the chain. That'd be the easy thing to do, but I'm lazy. I'm just going to unplug because I'm lame. Hi from Nigeria. Wow. Good to have you. Virginia. Awesome. Sactomato? Sactomato? I don't know what that is. It's probably another word that we ruined. I wouldn't doubt it. Hold on. Cool. Russell, good to have you, man, back here on YouTube. Normally my YouTube audience keeps asking where I've gone. I'm still here. I just live stream on Twitch 3 or 4 days a week. So I don't do it on YouTube very often anymore. Actually, it's because a lot of people we're unchecking the notifications because you get notified when a video goes up. You also get notified when I go live, and when that's too often on one platform, people stop turning their notifications on. So it's actually better this way, but it's good to be back here on YouTube. We got Montreal in the house. Awesome. Guys, give me 1 second. As you're coming in, talk amongst yourselves. Here's what we're doing today. Oh, wait. Daniel, Draft Killer from Twitch. There we go. I already got some of my Twitch friends. Here's what we're doing today. We are exploring this guy. So I want to make sure I can see it. Where's my angle? This is a Phil Jones bass, BP-800, that's the head, and we'll take a close look at that. I'll put it under the microscope here so you guys can see it. And then we've got these adorable 4x5 cabinets. 2 of them. These are called the C4s. And yeah, we're just going to explore that today. I'm going to see what kind of sounds we can create, and I want this to be as interactive as possible. If you want to hear what it sounds like slapping, we'll dial in a good slap tone. If you want to hear rock, funk, like whatever, please tell me what you guys want me to try to do with this. And that's what we're going to do. I've also got over here, wait for it, my friend Michael. Michael, I'm going to resume our call really quick. Michael, I'll give you just a second if you need to unmute the YouTube video. You can see the face he's making means he's probably hearing everything twice. Michael, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks. Great to be here.
Hey, everyone, can you do me a favor and tell me if you can hear Michael? Is his voice coming through? Most important question, are the cabs heavy? I can contest they are not. Michael, how much do these cabs weigh? Do you know?
29 pounds.
Okay, so that's what Michael's here for. He works for PJB, Phil Jones Bass. All right, and so anytime I don't know if you're asking a question and I don't know what the answer is, he's in the chat, so he'll respond with your questions there. And if I'm saying something wrong, he's going to flag me down and be like, no, you're speaking bullshit. you got to fix it. Right? So Michael's going to let me know what's up, and he's here to answer any questions that I can't. Because this is my first time playing this. I've plugged into it once, but that's it. Michael, anything we need to know going into it, or should we just do some exploring?
I'd say, let's do some exploring. That's the best thing to do. Get your feet wet with it,
Cool. Awesome. All right, so Michael, I'll come back to you in a bit. Everyone who's listening, please go ahead and start typing in your questions. Here's the thing. It's quiet. There's no sound right now, and that's a problem. I've been doing a lot of live streaming on Twitch, and whenever people are talking, there's always background music behind them. So give me 2 minutes to create a little backing track. I'm going to do this literally, 2 or 3 minutes. Go ahead and set a timer. But just so that as we're talking, it's not silence behind me. What should I play? Let me give myself a little bit more signal. Okay, that's what I'm going to go with. We'll do a simple groove like that. All right. Bass is sounding good. I'm going to go put some drums on this. Please bear with me. Promise. It's going to take 1 more minute. Maybe 2. In case you guys don't know, I'm not a drummer, so bear with me. All right, I'll take it. Let's just throw some keys on this really quick. All right, not bad. Yeah, okay, that's what we'll do. All right, here we go. Of course I screwed that up. All right, let me try that one more time. I promise this one's it. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we got a little jam happening. It's not perfect, but hey, we only made it just a second ago. All right, let's check out some of these questions. Loud and clear. Everyone can hear everything. Good, good, good. Houston, get another hurricane. Oh, shit. I hope not. California's on fire right now. Well, I'm not in California anymore. I live in Vegas. But I keep calling my family and all my friends every day. It's scary back home, man. It's one of the reasons we left there. Like this time last year, we were like, man, we got to get out of California. Fire season, man. It's nasty. Listening to PJB demo through my PJB speakers. Hey, Coyote Boy, you're a fan. I like it. The keyboard has a keyboard on it. Yeah. It's like keyboard inception. Ha! Yeah. Keyboard with a keyboard with a keyboard with a kind of a keyboard, maybe. Not really. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I guess the first thing, we should just explore the features, and it looks pretty simple. So actually, I'm going to power this down. I'm going to bring it over here so we can have it under the main view. And Michael, I'm going to bring you back in just a second, and maybe we can talk about some of the features. So hold on 1 second. By the way, in case you can't tell, very low-key production here. All right, this isn't a produced show. I'm not going for perfection. We're just hanging. Russell says, how fresh are your strings? I just put those on yesterday before a 3-hour Twitch stream, so those strings are maybe 3-4 hours of play. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So here's what we're looking at. And Michael, I'm going to bring you back right now. So this is what we're looking at, everybody. This is the head. And I'm sorry, I can't get it much better focus for you. I can't. Well, how much can I zoom in? Oh, we got a little bit of room. Let me see. Ah, there we go. Okay, we're making it work. So, Michael, looks like to me, again, this is my first impression. I see a 5-band EQ, which is pretty interesting because usually 4-band EQ, 3-band sometimes, but five is pretty unique. I can see these are labeled low bass, high bass, and I like that. Instead of bass, low mid, mid, high mid, and treble, we've got low bass and high bass, which I'm interested to hear what these frequencies are. And then we got mid, low treble, and high treble. Again, that's pretty cool. An input level, which is detented in the center. Aux for, I'm assuming you can plug in like your phone, iPod, some sort of MP3 player. And then this volume is for the output only that's going to the speakers, not the DI.
Yeah.
And then
yes, it is. It's for the input only, and that's the masters for the power section.
I see. So so this right here won't affect the DI, and it also won't affect the aux in.
No.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Input and then mute, active, and passive. That's pretty much it for the front, minus a headphone jack. And then obviously we mentioned that one already. So right off the bat, features are pretty basic. It seems like you would have a hard time going wrong. I think that's one thing that a lot of people.
That's the idea.
Yeah, it's one thing that a lot of people was like, oh, I've got EQ here, I've got EQ on my bass, I've got a pedal board. Like, what? How do I get a good tone? And it seems like this is straightforward: EQ and gain, and that's it. Right? That's all I'm seeing on the front.
Clean and simple.
On the back, again, pretty normal staples. Actually, no, I don't recognize the line in and the line out. What's that for?
What's great about the BP-800 is it allows you with the line out to bypass the preamp section on this particular unit and run the BP-800 as a straight power amp. So a lot of you guys out there may have like a favorite stomp box preamp that they like. It allows you to sort of bypass the whole preamp system, like I said, in the BP-800 and run your favorite stomp box preamp with it.
That is really cool.
It's got to go. And another thing, because, active electronics have come such a long way over the years, and they've become so fine-tuned and sophisticated, you could actually just plug your bass direct into the line out.
No way.
And depending on the preamp you have, and just run it like that as well.
Dang.
If you absolutely adore the sound of your onboard preamp, it allows you to do that as well.
So if I wanted to do that, first of all, let me just make sure everyone understands. What he's saying is you can use this just as a power amp, which how much power does it have?
It's 800 watts at a 4 ohm load and 400 watts at an 8 ohm load.
And I'm assuming pretty clean also, right?
Well, yeah, completely clean power.
So the idea is you can use this, a clean power amp, with your colored preamp, DI tubes, like whatever you want to add, and then and then get 800 watts. You said 800 watts at 4 ohms of clean power. That's impressive.
Of clean power. And then if you see could you focus in on the right underneath there? You have is it your out or your in?
Well, this is the line in, the line out, and then we have effects send and effects return.
Okay, so you have the line. So with the line out, it does the exact opposite. It allows you to bypass the power section and run the BP-800 as a straight preamp. So if you want to, some guys maybe need a little bit more power for a certain gig, and maybe they have a power amp that's like 1400 watts. They can bypass the power section in
and use the preamp in this
and run it as a straight preamp as well.
That's really cool. So correct me if I'm wrong. You would plug bass into here, and then line out to your power amp, and that's
no. Well, you could to a certain degree, but like I said, if we look at it like this, if you want to first bypass the preamp,
right. So
you want to run a stomp box preamp with this. What you would do is take the line out from the top there.
So you would still go bass into here, and then you would just line out to.
No. It would totally bypass that whole system there.
Oh, right.
Your input would be your
preamp, your
stomp,
DI.
your stomp box preamp would
Right.
be your new input. And like I said,
Gotcha.
depending on the preamp you had internally in the bass, you could actually just plug directly in
Oh,
to the
yeah,
link
bypass.
in there, and
Gotcha.
bypass everything and just run it straight with your
Interesting.
bass.
Okay. All right. So that's how the that's how the line in and out work. The
Yes.
effects send and return. I asked you this just before we started. So if I plug something, if I send from here, I have to return back. I always forget which one that is, series or parallel or serial. I always forget what it's called.
It's parallel. Yeah, it's your effects send and return. There's no unfortunately we don't have like a buffer knob for it for wet and dry signals, but it's pretty cut and dry. It's just your send from your output in your pedal board into the unit there,
Gotcha.
and then your return would go out into your
So you do
into
need to
the-
have both of these plugged in. I'm sorry, you have to have both of these plugged in. Otherwise, if you just send to something but don't return it, you won't have any signal. Right?
Well, the funny thing about that is that some people, depending on the effects that they're using, it's pretty cut and dry. And let's just say you're using like all digital effects, and they all kind of have the same amount of output. You know, people just bypass that and just run directly into the main input. They go right into their pedal board, out of their pedal board. Out of their pedal board right into the input
Gotcha.
on the unit. Well, some guys are wanting to use some maybe analog effects and some digital effects, and they're changing everything around. Well, those frequencies, some tend to be louder than others. That's where the whole effects send and return comes in. It's sort of like a buffer.
Gotcha.
For your effects pedal board.
All right. Interesting. Well, I'm not seeing anything else in here on the back that looks out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
Power button, power
You
cable.
have your DI on the back,
Direct.
and that's it. We make it pretty cut and dry, for what it is. It's about, it's really at the end of the day, it's about the sound of your bass and the way you play. Phil's philosophy is it's the player and the bass. The bass becomes the command center where the majority of the tone's coming from, and
Gotcha.
the amp is sort of giving you the best blank canvas it could possibly get.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds about right. Only other thing, ground lift and then pre and post out for the DI. And connecting speakers, there's only one speak on output. I'm assuming you can also plug in a standard speaker cable into that same jack. Is it one of those combo jacks or speak on only?
No, it's speak on only. But
Gotcha.
I believe Hosa makes a speak on to 1/4-inch adapter.
Yeah, I've got tons of those.
Like $9 or something.
So the only way to use this then is to go out of the one. Out of here into one cabinet and then daisy chain the cabinets
the link
together.
out from the other cabinet. Yes,
Gotcha.
That's how you.
Nice, cool, awesome. All right, anyone have any questions for Michael? I'm going to plug this back in over there so we can actually do some playing with it. Yeah, do you guys have any questions for Michael? I'm going to leave this up for a second while I do this really quick. So anybody, anything at all about this particular amp, or maybe the cabinets as well? Michael, is there anything you want to say about the cabs?
Those are our C4 cabinets. They're probably one of our most popular cabinets that we have in our line right now.
You know what? Before I do this, someone asked how heavy they were.
29 pounds.
29 pounds means
29 pounds, but that might seem heavy in the grand scheme of things in the neodymium world that a lot of us live in. But if you think about it, it's a tiny package. So it's kind of like a
wait.
bowling
These
ball.
aren't neo cabs.
No, those are ferrite. They're ceramic, full range.
Wow, so these things got some throw then, because that's my
Well,
beef
that's the
with
whole idea.
Yeah.
With the ceramic magnets, yes, they're a bit heavier, but they're full range. Where I find personally that neodymium has more of a darker kind of translucent type of sound, whereas the ceramic magnets, like I said, are more full range. So
Yeah,
no
exactly.
matter what kind of technique you're doing, whether it's fingerstyle, slapping, or tapping, it covers the whole spectrum. They're a little bit heavier, but we compensate by having a smaller cabinet.
Right. Yeah. 1 second. All right, we're back in business. I guess one last question: can I run this as a DI without even plugging in cabinets to it?
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
no damage to the circuits.
No damage to the circuits at all.
Okay, Russell's got a question here. It says, when
What?
bypassing the amp's preamp, is the EQ part of the pre? I would say yes.
When you bypass
So
the
like
preamp,
if you're bypassing the preamp and just using the power amp, the EQ goes away.
No, it's completely bypassed.
Yeah, exactly. Were there any other questions here? We got to the Russell also want to know, have you DI'd from the amp? Surely that's an
Yes.
oxymoron. yeah.
Yes,
So when I
have.
was playing this a second ago, very terribly, this right here was the sound of just the DI only. Now, I do have a mic up on this cabinet, so let me say this really quick. I have mic'd up this cab. However, my interface only has 2 inputs for my microphone and for my bass. So I'll have to go back and forth. We can do some DI sounds, and if you want to hear what the cab sounds like, there's a mic. I just have to plug it in. We'll get new levels, and we can explore the cabinet together if you guys want. But yeah, so the sound that you've heard so far is just the sound of the DI. And we can get to that a little bit. I would recommend starting. Let's start with the head and just kind of see what kind of sounds we can make with it coming out direct, and then let's kind of explore the cab and especially volume. That's what I'm interested in. Michael, you work for these guys, so now you're biased. But here's the thing: I've had these little tiny things. I remember one time I was amp shopping, and every week I went to Guitar Center and bought a different bass amp. Not because I couldn't afford one, but I wanted to take it out, play a gig with it, and see how it worked. And I remember Mark Bass had something like that. It was a small, tiny little thing, and I was like, "Oh wow, it sounds so big." But as soon as I got into the club, I was like, "Oh no, this isn't gonna cut it with the rest of the band." So tell me, do you these 5-inch speakers, even though I've got 8 of them, how much do you think I'm gonna be able to fill up the room?
I do gigs with that. I'm a bass player as well,
Uh-huh.
so I do gigs with different types of rigs. I have done gigs with the 2C4s and the BP-800. And if you had to break it down surface area wise, it'd be kind of the same as playing through like a 210 cabinet.
It looks like the
turned
size of a
vertically.
210, yeah.
Well, yeah. So, the idea with the smaller speakers is they're more efficient. They're quicker to start working and
Yes.
quicker to stop. So everything you play is in real time. If you use them in multiple configurations, like I said, 4/5s or 8/5s or whatever, you're not going to lose any of the bass response, because where does bass response come from? It comes from cone area, surface area that you're
Right.
taking up in a cabinet. So
And the
for
bigger
us,
speakers move slower, and that creates that sludgier, woofier
well,
sound.
yes, and it also creates in your ear, it kind of hears like there's a loss of volume as well,
Sure.
because the speakers aren't moving fast. And the problems with 10s, 15s, 12s, they don't move fast. And then a lot of you guys tend to mix them up with other size speakers, which is another thing. Then
Creates
you have
another
two
problem, yeah.
Yeah, you have 2 sets of speakers that are moving at 2 separate speeds,
I'm looking.
trying to compete with each other.
I'm kind of curious. I'm looking on your guys' site. I've seen some.
You
it's
might
this
want to
one.
go PJB World.
Yeah. I knew it was there.
There we go. That's
Okay, yeah, this one. I've seen some cabinets that have a bunch of these 5-inch speakers. So you guys are way into that.
Well, yeah. Well, if you
Where's the
think
one?
about
Yeah,
it, you're
these
in
ones.
the
Look at
studio
this.
right now,
That looks so
correct?
cool.
You're in a studio right now. What size are your monitors in there that you're mixing your music with?
Small.
Why are they
6,
small?
6 or 8 maybe. Well, because the room
Why
is
are
small.
they small? Because they're efficient when they're small. They move in real time, and everything that you hear is legit. There's no little lag in the signal.
So you're saying it's going to be quicker on transients, like the initial smack.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you think about it, your cleanest sound 90% of the time is if you're in the studio and you plug direct into a mixing console and hear your bass through 2 studio monitors. I don't think it gets any cleaner than that, in my personal opinion, or as organic as that can get. And you think about, well, why not have that experience in a live setting?
Sure.
And that's kind of what we're doing.
That's cool. All right. I'm going to play around with it then. Mike, is there anything else that we need to know before we get going?
About the cabinets.
Cabinets, amp, anything?
No,
Or am I
I
good
think
to start
we covered
exploring?
a lot of stuff. I'm sure there's going to be, questions, and I'm here to answer them. But the idea is to get in there and hear what that bass can do. Don't be afraid to bring up the bass on your instrument, the treble on your instrument, and really hear the way you can shape that. I mean, in the most natural sound you can get.
I've got actually one question for you. The input level, that's not driving the preamp harder, is it? Is it more like an attenuator?
It's not driving it's just indicating where you are in the signal that you're sending. If you're hitting the signal too hard, the light will go off.
It'll clip.
And
So
and what you do is you roll back on the input and you bring up the master a hair.
So for everyone at home, don't be confused. Sometimes, like on an Ampeg amp or some bass amps with tubes and Mojo, you want to crank the input gain to get it as nasty as you want to be, to get that character, that color, and then you back off the output to be whatever volume you want. But on this amp, that is not the case. The input is acting more like an attenuator. So driving it harder doesn't make it sound better.
We go out of our way to make sure our amps don't distort. If you like distortion, well, buy a distortion pedal and you can play along with it. But your essence of your sound, your foundation, should be as clean as it could possibly get to start with.
So there's a couple questions here in the chat. Russell wants to know, does the bass, and he means the EQ, not the instrument, does the bass frequencies suffer any loss in the lows of the human hearing range with the smaller speaker cones? Michael? No, because the same amount of air is still being thrown.
Exactamundo.
That comes to how. So like if I have two 15s stacked on top of each other versus an 810, the volume is going to be the same. They're throwing lots of air at you, but the 10s are moving quicker than the 15, and then obviously the 5s even faster than the 10s. So the sound. Well, sorry. You go. Sorry, there's a latency here with Skype, so that's how it works. But yeah, basically, you're going to have all the sound happening. It's just going to be getting to you quicker, and you're going to interpret that as less sludgy, less woofy, I would imagine.
Yes, and you're not only going to feel the bass, you're going to actually hear it as well. A lot of guys, have 5-string basses. They play through these big subwoofers, and they can feel the bass, but they can't hear the articulation 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, like you go to a rock concert and you feel the
you get the woof,
you don't hear any of your notes.
You don't hear the notes. Yeah. You don't hear any of the notes, especially the fellas who were doing all that drop D tuning and all that kind of stuff.
They go even lower than that, bro.
Yeah, you can't hear anything. It's the idea, as we say, it's the idea of a note. But so with the smaller drivers, I mean, you get the note.
Sure.
You get the feeling and you get the note.
We got another question here from Lab TVC. Do smaller speakers have any issues with the low B string? So no, I would say no.
No.
Yeah, won't notice it.
Well, it's just like if you're used to playing through, let's say, a 215 cabinet. We have a version of a 215 cabinet that has 24 5s in it.
Okay, we'll get to that one later.
The same amount of surface area.
Sure.
So if you have, you're not going to get the same amount of surface space in a 210 as you will in a 410. It's just the way it is. So for us, we actually put out a new cabinet. It's a C2, and it's only 200 watts, but we maximize the amount of space for the amount of tone and the amount of bass frequencies we can get out of that one little box. And that's what it's all about.
Nice. Cool. Another person, JC10. By the way, Mike, your hair is sticking up when you adjusted your headphones. I'm looking out for you because I can't. I wish someone would tell me when I have bad hair days. You would think that's you're looking good now, man. Looking good now. It's funny. I was I was doing laundry the other day and I'm pulling my wife's hair out of the lint roller, my shirts. I'm like, man, and the dog too. There's just hair everywhere, and it's like, I don't know what that's like. I've never found my hair everywhere. I went bald when I was like 20. Guys don't know. I'm missing out on this. One last question from JC Denton. Can you plug in a guitar in a pinch? I don't see why not.
Yes. It's Phil likes to say it doesn't know it's a bass amp. It's going to reproduce any signals that you put through it. We've put banjos, mandolins, violins, just about anything through it.
So the idea here is that this is going to be a very clean and probably the word we use in the audio, like pro audio world, is transparent. So you have color pieces. That's your Neve 1073. That's your API 312 or 512. They have it's like a filter. Once I plug into that, it has this dark or bright or punchy like sound to it. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you have clean. brands like Millennia. I'm blanking, but then there's these preamps
Avalon.
that just Avalon. Yeah. They don't really have. To say they don't have a sound makes it sound like they don't do anything. That's not the idea. The idea is it's capturing a high fidelity, high quality, as transparent as possible sound, so you can do whatever the hell you want to it later. You can mangle it and add vibe and whatever to it, or not, and leave it very clean and pristine. So a lot of jazz recordings would prefer that, classical especially, whereas like rock and roll and some of the more colored vibes, you know what I mean? Again, that's the word we use, color. For some reason, it's easier to see those things than to hear them.
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
No, I agree, but I find that there are some of the rocker guys out there, rockers as I call them, who play a style of heavy rock that is so intricate that they're doing unison lines with guitar players and all this type of stuff, and the speakers have to fire lightning fast for these type of guys. And of course, yes, they do play with distortions and a lot of the new effects that are on the market, but their foundation sound needs to be as clean as it possibly can most of the time. And I noticed that just in general, if you think about all the great, I'm 49 years old. When I was a kid, there was only a couple of kind of basses that were on the market that were like, available to people. And we didn't have so many, unbelievable up and coming builders that have these fantastic instruments that are made to order to the specs of the players. And I guess what we're trying to see is it's like you spend all this money on a bass, and then a lot of guys plug it into an amp that just dictates all of the characteristics of the tone, and all the ideology of the tone. The bass is gone. The bass wants to sound one way, your amp wants to sound another 90% of the time.
So you guys are catering to this. The sound that's coming out of here is the sound of your instrument,
and the way you play. Those are the people we're catering to with our product.
So as I'm playing it, what I'm going to be looking for is the transparency, because we'll play a bunch of different genres. I've got some backing tracks pulled up here. We got some gospel-y kind of things, old school, some funk, something rock, couple of rocks. So yeah, we've got a few different things to try out. And so what I'm going to be kind of listening for and feeling for, and that's something else that, when you're playing new gear, it's not just about what it sounds, but like how does it react? And so I'm looking for articulations. When I do a tiny thing or a tiny mistake, do I hear it now and I didn't hear it before? Because, it just kind of like some things get, I don't know. Yeah, weird things can happen when we're searching for tones, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be paying attention to is the articulation there. Is it reactive? Does it feel like it's behind me or in front of me? These are all kind of, I don't know how to explain it other than that. It feels a certain way when you play it. And so this one should just kind of be very natural. That seems to be what they designed it for. Cool. All right, Michael, I'm going to jump over here and start playing some music then. So I'll pause us here, and if you guys need Michael for anything, he's still in the chat. Ask him any questions, and if I need you, I'll come back for you. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, everyone, here's what I need you to do. I need you to tell me right now what you want me to play. Okay, here's your choices. You can have old school. Old school means like R&B, I don't know, Motown sounding kind of stuff. We could do funk, or we could do rock. Those are the tracks that I've pulled up. But if you really want to have something other than those three, I guess, and now I've got something bluesy. So you guys need to tell me right now, what do you want me to do? I'm not playing anything until you guys speak up. So we got 1 vote for funk. We got 1 vote for old school. Keep them coming. Tell me right now what you want to hear. And while you do that, well, actually, I can't grab a bass until I know what I'm going to play. Old school seems to be winning. I love old school. That's my jam. Come on, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes so far. And old school is winning by the landslide. Actually, okay. All right. We're going to get a little bit of both here. Russell wants the blues. Of course he does. All right. Old school got the most, so we're going to start there. Actually, let's do things chronologically, okay? We'll start old school. We'll go to 70s funk, and then we'll end in rock land, modern. Yeah, we'll get it all in there. Okay, cool. So at this point, anything as I'm playing or beforehand, you're like, hey, oh shoot, you know what? I'm so sorry. There's one thing we have to do. Before we do that, I should probably explore these knobs a little bit over here. Because, Michael, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring you back. I totally forgot. There's something that we didn't go over yet, is the EQ curves on this. All right. We know what the volume does. We know what the aux and the input level are doing. And I think, I'm just looking at my levels. I'm going to flatten everything on this bass, so we're 100%. This bass has not a lot of body to it. So sounding pretty flat to my ears. So this first one I'm going to go for is low bass. All right. Tell me what I'm going to be doing here with this this low bass knob as I turn it. What frequencies am I getting? So this right here is low bass off. Low bass in the center. Low bass all the way up. So obviously that's the frequencies, but which ones are they? Do you know where the low bass knob's adjusting? Sorry, Michael, can you hear me in there?
Yeah,
sorry.
it's, we have the low bass, high bass. On a 4-string bass, it really helps you fine-tune the sweet spots on the E and A string.
Yeah, that's why I can really tell the feel. And also when I crank it all the way up, it doesn't distort.
Well, another thing are all the pots are linear pots. They're subtle, like a mixing console is with the papers on a mixing console. So nothing jumps 20 decibels as you move it. It's all really subtle.
Yeah, because check this out, everyone. Right now it's centered to 10. I'm going to do the same amount of attack with it all the way off. Like, it's not a drastic difference. It just got thinner. Now I'm going to boost it all the way up. This is max. And I'm looking at my meters. I'm not clipping. I'm going to turn off my mic so you don't hear the fingers snapping there. It's like I would just leave that all the way up almost. Like there's no reason to take it down.
That's what I do.
Okay. All right, dude, that's fat. That's huge.
Because it's organic, it's natural. It brings out what that bass has to say,
That's cool.
And it's subtle,
So what frequencies are these?
Let's fine tune your E and your A. Oh, hang on one second, my laptop's dying on me. Your E and your A for your low bass, high bass.
So that's like up to what, 120?
The top of my head, 120.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you have your mid range, and then you have your high bass, low bass. Is it high treble, low treble on the upside?
Yeah. High treble, low treble all the way in the end.
That's for your D and for your G string. And same concept. All the sweet spots you can really dial in.
That's really interesting. I keep asking what the frequencies are, and you're telling me which strings they accentuate. Is that how you guys market it? You're not.
Yeah, that's kind of
that's really cool.
That's the whole thing with the 5-band EQ.
It's a great way to think of it.
Well, that's kind of the thing because Phil came from the Fender bass, 4-string old school style, and he found that a lot of the times there'd be some sweet spots on the E string that you weren't hearing on the G string, or maybe the E string was a hair louder, it resonated differently. If you could have, a 5-band EQ, you could kind of sort of solo out those sections of that string that maybe needed to be a little louder, or maybe needed to be a little lower, or where maybe they didn't resonate a certain way at a certain fret. And that's, in my mind, that's what we go to is the string, and not so much the actual frequency. To tell you the truth, I haven't thought of the actual frequency in years.
Well, that's cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not complaining. So this would be E string notes. High bass would be A string notes.
Yeah.
Low treble for the D. High treble for the G. And then the mid range is just kind of the nasally honkiness of it.
It's not super honky. For the guys who want that super honk, of course, dial your bridge pickup,
Uh-huh.
on, yeah, it's not what I would call overbearing, you know, but everybody's going to hear things differently with that.
JC says, so it's not normal EQ, but each knob is changing multiple frequencies. Well, I mean, that's the way it always is. When you boost 200, you boost everything around it, depending on how wide or how narrow your Q is. So you're always boosting multiple frequencies with every EQ. It's just where is it centered and where's the cutoff? That's kind of what I was asking for, because I'm a recording engineer. That information is more important to me than, oh, yeah, E string notes. Okay. But I mean, whatever it is for you.
I could get you the technical.
Not important. Not important. I like this better. We're gonna go this way. Okay, cool. Michael, thanks a lot, man. If I need you, I'll come back for you.
You got it.
All right, y'all. So let's have fun now. I'm going to, I guess, just go through each of these knobs individually. I'm going to play a couple of scales or something and explore the range of the instrument and see what these do. So again, I don't have a problem boosting this low bass all the way up. And man, I wish there was a way to get that in the shot. Does this one? No, it's too low. Dang it. Yeah, so low bass all the way up. By the way, no compression, no anything in the signal chain. This is straight up amp. And this is a good thing to do, exactly what I just did when you're trying to listen for what EQ is doing. Play from a lower register up to a higher register. I don't need to go to my highest because I know what's up there. But I want to hear, what I'm listening for is this. Like, are some of those, I mean, obviously I did that with my attack, but are some of the notes getting louder because of what the EQ is doing? So I really want to hear, is it a balanced sound? Up on these strings, it's getting a little thinner. But everything below is nice and thick. And I'm also going slow, not just because I haven't warmed up yet today, but I think that's important because I'm listening. I'm not trying to go for playing. Yes, Daniel's correct. Obviously use headphones. You won't be able to hear any of the differences on your cell phone or on your laptop. That is true. I got a question from SM8088. It says, from the manual EQ, center here we go. We got all the frequencies listed. Fantastic. Cool. JC, no, it's not a multiband EQ. Wait, multiband? I think you're talking about multiband compression. All EQ is, well, not all EQ. Anyways. Okay. I recommend, headphones. Okay. Let's do the same thing for the high bass. I'm going to pull it all the way out. So this is no high bass. Yeah, instantly it's hollow. For being totally flat, there's a lot of crispy top end in there. All right, let's put it all the way in the center. All the way up. All right, so now we're getting distortion. But again, I went 100% up. So let's kind of round this down a little bit and see what happens. So this right here is like maybe 75%. And yeah, coming down low, I can hear the volume disappearing a little bit. But this mid-range is middle section of the bass. These notes are thinner. And now they're fuller. So let's bring this low bass back in. We'll go almost all the way up. Let's go all the way. I like that. So fat! Whoa! I'm gonna take the high bass out and see what that's doing. Honestly, I like this. Essentially, to my ears, I'm hearing this do a smiley face EQ, but in the lower range of the mid-range, instead of in the middle where the mids are. I know. So actually this high bass knob, I mean, it's good. I don't need it though. I just need that low bass. Very interesting. Now this is a pretty aggressive low mid scoop. Yeah. So this is what I'm hearing. The low bass, that's where the is, and then kind of the low mid honk, depending on how much of it you want. That burpy kind of throaty sound. I'll bet if I was on the bridge pickup, this is the one I would want to adjust. And let's check that out. So that's in the middle. Let's bring it up halfway. Yeah, so definitely this is my finger funk knob right here. I'm probably going to end up leaving the low bass on 100%. I just love the boom that it's bringing. But this low bass right here, this is my finger funk, and I can tell if I leave it center, it's going to give me the amount of scoop I want. And again, I think that's a pretty cool feature because it's less work to do. I don't have to scoop out the mids. I just have to boost the low end, and it's kind of doing the same thing. Let's check these out a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm missing a bunch of your comments here. Tasty speakers, neighbors probably aren't happy with me. Well, good, Russell. I like that. Daniel says, I remember I would watch vids like this and be like, what the fuck are they talking about? I don't hear a difference. Yeah, headphones, speakers, makes a big difference. Blah, 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 blah. Aggressive mid scoop. Do some reggae. Yeah, we'll get there. Right now, I just want to keep exploring these bands and see what they're doing. So let's move on to the mids. I'm going to crank it, or it's in the center. Sorry, let me flatten out the bass. Mid all the way down. It's pretty much what you would expect. All the way up. Get ready. Here's the super honky part. It's also adding some tick to it. This sounds to me like where the attack is. It's almost where the attack is. I'm going to guess somewhere around 900. 50, oh, 2.5K. I was way off. Yeah. Yeah. This is my rock knob right here, the mid-range. So, is all the way over here. Jocko is right here on the high bass, and then mid is for rock. I don't know what I'm going to do with these trebles. Here's totally flat again. Low treble is now all the way off. Now it's all the way up. So that's where the tic-tac of the strings are at. That's the sharpness. Let's bring some of that low bass back in. All the way up. Here's what I like. This low treble is cranked so I can get lots of the zing from the snapping. By the way, I mean, I don't like the way that sounds. I'm just pointing this out. It's pulling out the transient, the attack. That's probably much more usable for me. But what's cool is even when I had it all the way up, listen, everyone listen right now. Normally, to get that much zing out of the strings, when you crank the treble all the way up, it goes, you know what I'm talking about? All you hear is just this top end squeal. I've got it max boost, and this is what it sounds like. Very aggressive, very sharp. Listen. Like just barely, you hear the sound of my strap creaking over it. You know what I mean? I'm impressed. And if I go the high treble, yeah, listen. Again, that really high pitch zing. Wow, that's like that Warwick type brightness. Whoa! going to bring these guys back in a little bit. Dude, that sounds so good. Oh. Man, I need to work my slapping too. Dude, that's like the best slap that I'm not kidding. This high treble and the low treble, you can get a lot of the body of the attack and then the sizzle on top. Man, that is impressive. I'm gonna turn off my microphone so you can hear, because that mic's picking up a lot of my hand attacking the strings. So here's what it sounds like with nothing. And hey, Russia, good to have you. I'm really impressed. That top end is incredible, and it's not, again, now both of them are cranked 100%, and you can kind of hear the hiss. But I mean, it's not nearly as bad as it usually is. That's impressive. Phil Jones bass, good job. I'm impressed. Okay, so again, here's what I do. The first time that I'm playing through a piece of gear, let's get my background music back. So the first time that I play through a piece of gear, what I'm trying to do is kind of like weigh it and okay, where do I place this? How do I use this? What is this going to accomplish for me? So in my head, I've made some shortcuts. You probably remembered. I was like, oh, this one stays on all the time. That low bass, crank that shit 100%. There's not a scenario where I don't like that. And then I was like, okay, the high bass, what I call this? Finger funk. That's the Jocko knob. And then the mid-range, I was like, that's my rock knob. If I'm doing digging in, rush or anything like that, aggressive, the mid-range. And then these two are kind of like the sizzle for the slap and then the attack of the slap. So I've got always on, Jocko, rock, slap. And I'm sorry, I know that it's hard to see. It's all the way over there. I'll get better. I'll put another camera up and we'll zoom in for next time. But for now, that's pretty much how I've got things mapped in my head, and that's what I'm going to go with. Sorry, let me just come back over here and check out these chats and see if there's anything we need. Okay, Daniel said, does doing it straight from the hardware make a huge difference from doing it via software, like virtual amps or processing? The answer is yes. I think of what you're asking, if you do EQ here versus on the computer, like in a plugin, or over here on like a pedal of some sort, which, sorry, got the zoom back up. The answer is yes. Anything you do is going to make a difference, and anything you use is going to make it different depending on what that box or that plugin does. So yeah, that's definitely going to be different. Better or worse? I mean, that's up to you. Sorry, looking back over here. Yeah, that slap tone was great, man. Awesome, cool. All right, so let's actually play some music now. I asked you guys a second ago to vote, and you overwhelmingly said old school music. So that's what we're gonna do first. Yeah, let's do this song. Hold on, I gotta set it up first. Bear with me, everybody. By the way, how's everyone doing today? I see we got people from around the world. That blows my mind. I can't believe it. Yeah, we'll do this song. Let's turn off the warp. All right, now why is the volume so quiet? Oh, because it's over here. All right. Okay, can you guys hear the drums? I think they're coming through. All right, so I'm just... Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm just gonna play to a couple of tracks. Having a cup of coffee? Nice. I'm gonna play to a couple of tracks and just kind of see what we can create with it. No compression, no distortion, no tone shaping. Everything you're hearing right now is this Phil Jones bass DI. We're not using the cabinets yet. When I get to the more rock kind of stuff, I'll jump in on that. But old school means this. Old school means P bass with flats And one of these pickup covers. Bridge cover if you can afford it. So first thing I'm going to do is flatten everything out. All right, so we're totally flat. Gain it up a little bit more. Yeah, that low bass knob. Loving it. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put some of the attack in with the mid-range knob. Get more aggressive with it. Back that off and a little bit of the high bass. High treble maybe? Or low treble? Yeah, we don't really need that at all. A little bit more of the low and mid. It's very important when you're doing this kind of stuff to play the same thing over and over again, same types of things. Because if you notice a difference because you played something different, it might not be the gear. Just because you played something cool or something better. Yeah, man, that is so hot. Okay, and I'm starting to get some distortion. Yeah, I'm really impressed with how easy it is to just sculpt a very usable tone. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. I have to plug in a tuner. You know what? No, I'm not going to do it that way. I was going to say I could plug a tuner into the line, but then we'd have something in the signal chain, and that could cause it to be biased. Cool, P-Bass, thank you. The pickup covers, does it change the sound? I don't think so. Maybe it does. It's just what they always had in the 50s and 60s. I call this my Jamerson bass. Doesn't get used very often, only on songs like this. Does the BP-800 have a tuner out? It does not. I asked that question when we first started, and I realized, oh shit, I need to plug in a tuner. But that's okay. You could do it through the effects loop. Send and return, you know. Okay. Ah. All right, let's play a track. Give me a second to just balance the volumes here. We're almost ready. Everything sound okay? Does the bass need to come up at all? Dude. I definitely feel how articulate. I'm gonna make it less dark. By the way, don't do any of this stuff on the gig. It'll definitely get you fired. I want to get it even brighter. I keep turning my headphones off because I'm stepping out of my cable. Man, I love how reactive it is. Again, to the articulation, to all the boom. I can feel, no. Yeah, I can feel those notes coming out. Sorry, I forgot to turn that off. Typically, like when I do that kind of stuff, like the like all the ghosted notes and stuff. They kind of get lost in the mud when you start boosting. I mean, look at how much you can't. I'm sorry, you can't really see it. But I'm boosting the low all the way up and that high bass most of the way too. And usually you kind of lose the feel of the notes. You just kind of, it gets lumped into kind of like muddy land. And I'm really impressed. Every single time I was going for some fast kind of 16th ghosted notes or something like that, I could still feel them while I was playing it. And this cabinet's not on, by the way. It's totally powered down. Cool, man. Great sound. I'm not taking credit for that. It's a great sounding amp. That wasn't me talking about myself. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Daniel says, you know it sounds good when you make the face just from the sound. Yeah. Josh says, I see that Rickenbacker in the back. Never seen you play it. Yeah, not big fan. And actually, it doesn't even work. It needs a big fixing up. I've got three basses that I did the own pickup installs and preamp and stuff, and I did a bad job. I'm not good with the soldering iron, so that's one that needs some help. Daniel says, teach me how to get fired from Jamie, teach me how to get fired from day one. You know it, man. I want to get brighter, use a jazz. Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm a J player. In fact, hell, for the next one, let's plug in this a J bass. Hold on. Okay, this bass needs some new strings, and actually, I think that's going to be a pretty good check for this. Yeah, these strings have like no life left in them. So let's see how the next song goes. By the way, hey guys, any questions you have? If you want me to try to dial in a specific sound, I'm just going on autopilot here and playing whatever I feel like, and tweaking away. So if there's something you want to hear, something you want to see, please let me know, and I'll try to make it happen on this bass. We'll do one more kind of old school sounding song, this time with the jazz bass. And let's make sure it's going to work. Okay. LOL, someone actually listened to me. Yeah. Hey, I'm a listener. I'm a bass player. I know what's up. Sorry, I've got to tune again. You guys doing good? Hey, by the way, if you didn't know this, yesterday, episode 100 of my podcast went up. It's here on the YouTube channel. You can listen. You can watch it. We have it on YouTube now. I'm sure you all know that. You probably got the notifications. But if you haven't, it was a really, really stupid good episode. Let me see if I can pull it up. YouTube. Is there an easy way to get to it? It's, yeah, this one right here. Episode number 100 with my friend Adam Neely. This was a really, really good episode. Not just because it's Adam Neely. Well, they're all good. And actually, I was lying. Yeah, it's because it's Adam Neely. He's so smart. God, he's one of my favorite musicians. Incredible bass player. We talk about a lot of cool stuff, but I highly recommend you guys go check that out. It came out yesterday. And again, you can listen to it on any podcasting app, and you can watch it on the YouTube channel. All right, this song. Okay, I'm going to go for kind of a creamy, gritty something. Actually, I might even just use all these same settings. You know what? It's a bit honky in the low end, but I'm going to go for it. Why not? Yeah, let's kind of start here. Hey, thanks, Josh. I appreciate that, man. All right, let's see what this one does.
Doing things my way.
Let's get a little bit more of this mid-range.
This is me. I don't follow the rules.
I forgot how the song goes.
Gotta clean my act up and behave. But Lord knows that is something I can do. Well, I've heard it done before, seen it play out. It's a tale, has on its time. Well-behaved women, well-behaved women, well-behaved
Yeah.
women never make history. Well-behaved women, well-behaved women.
Get some more of that finger attack in there.
Marilyn had 'em right where she wanted, hypnotizing their eye. Now Cleopatra stayed on top in a man's
Sorry, my headphones were cutting out right there. I think you guys all had it too.
proving women can change the world with their minds. Oh, well, I've had it done before, seen it play out. It's a tale, has all its time. Well-behaved women, well-behaved women, well-behaved women never make history. Well-behaved women, well-behaved women, well-behaved women never make history. Oh, but I know it's a long road.
Let's go really dark.
Oh, but I won't turn around, I won't back down. Gonna get there, stay there, gonna make my mark in time. Well-behaved women, well-behaved women.
Obviously none of that comes through.
Well-behaved women, well-behaved women, well-behaved women never make history. Well-behaved women never make history. Well-behaved women never make history.
I'm missing, I'm missing some of the zing, but again, these are really dead strings. Actually, pretty reactive. Not bad. Sorry, whole bunch of comments over here. This is a song you were hoping I was gonna play. Me too. I love that one. I don't love how much of it I forgot though. I have to go back and listen to it. Don't be afraid to use the entire range of those controls. You know, honestly, that's a cool thing. There's not that many. And I'm also not cutting it all. I'm doing boosting only. Yeah, I'm like 75% on the low bass, 50 on the high. Or I mean, like I'm talking from the center to 10. Yeah, all of them are somewhere between 3 and 5 o'clock. That's pretty cool. I run my gain high, and I'm using an active bongo. Yeah, this gain is all the way up, but this is a pretty quiet bass. If I take all the EQ down, the input level is 100% on this guy. It's pretty quiet, but this is a quiet bass. No matter what amp I plug into, that's the thing. Coyote says, I equate the live performance of the Phil Jones bass 5s. Oh, 5. I'm assuming you're talking about these guys, which these aren't on yet, by the way. You're just hearing the amp. Like a great set of cans, the more heard than felt. That's the advantage on stage. Yeah, that's cool. I agree with you. That's what I'm noticing is I'm hearing frequencies before that I would just be feeling them, you know? Pretty impressive. Okay, let's give another one. We said let's do something funky. Actually, let's pick a different jazz bass. This one doesn't have a strap. Hold on. Hey, hope you guys are having fun. And also, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. And if you're not, let me know. Where do you get one of those shirts that I'm wearing? I will drop it. Click on that link right there. Shit. I didn't put the http://shop.thebassist.net. I think you can click on that and it will take you to, yeah. So that's the store where I sell all my merch. But by the way, if you like this YouTube channel and you want to support, easiest way is go buy some merch. That way I can keep doing this stuff. Also, I have a Patreon. There's a link in the description with a whole bunch of, there's a description below this video with a whole bunch of links, and one of them is to my Patreon. I think we have tiers starting at $2 a month. You get exclusive content. Actually, here, check this out. I'll give you guys a little heads up. Watch this. I'm gonna go over here. Tomorrow, a YouTube video is going up that I did. Here, check this. This is a clip for tomorrow's YouTube video.
Like Warwick usually has like a little like area. It's like that enclosed booth. Oh hey Evan, here. And you just like handed it to me. I cried a little bit. It was moving, everything was just moving so fast. It's like, holy shit, now I have it in my hands.
All right, so anyways, all I'm trying to say is for my patrons, for the people on Patreon, you get early access to YouTube videos. So that one right there is a social media clip. But yeah, you don't see Funk Wars. If you go to apparel, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them. I think this is one of them. And if not, that means we're sold out and I'll bring it back. But yeah, anyways, that video is going to go live tomorrow. That was a clip that I took from Evan Marion. We did a podcast together a couple of weeks ago, and he got to play Jocko's Bass of Doom. And so he tells the story of it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to tell this as if it was the Lord of the Rings. Splice in a bunch of ridiculous footage. What are my EQ settings when I want to do some slap? We'll get to that. This is absolutely the wrong bass for that because these are flat wound strings, but the smiley face is the easy answer. If you come back to me when I grab a different instrument, we can talk about slap, but this one's not going to do. Okay. I'm loving the sound of a J bass with flats. Everything's totally flat over here, so let's go to the, what did I call this? I said the high bass was the Jocko knob. to back off the input gain a little bit. It's a little too muddy, so I'm going to bring the mids in. Ah, shit. Let's try that. What about the high treble, or the low treble, sorry. Okay, I noticed this on the P bass also. This low treble knob is great with flat wound strings. Typically with flats, they have less sustain and kind of a darker sound, but people usually exaggerate that. They roll their tone knob all the way off, they put a sponge, and they take the treble knob, they go all the way down, they grab the darkest microphone, but then it just kind of becomes muddy and indistinct. With adding a little bit of, I don't know what frequencies these are, 2.5K I think is what someone pointed out. But this right here, this low treble knob is great for flats. Watch, I'm going to put it back to center. Listen to the attack. Okay, I'm going to boost it now, watch. Because they're not round wound, it has less of the sliding of your fingers. So really, you just get the attack of your fingers. And the flat wound string doesn't really lose its characteristic. If anything, it pops out a little bit more. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to leave that up. Sorry, let's check out some of these questions. Jamie, a preview of the Trickfish preamp pedals would be nice. I did a video with this one, the Minnow. You can find that on the YouTube channel, but I don't have any of their other things. We got the slap. Just got my Jammers and Whiskey. Nice, awesome, Jared. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I thought I was wearing that shirt, but I'm wearing my Funk Wars one instead. But thank you, Jared. Thank you so much. Yeah, it must be sold out. I'll take a look. If it's not, if it is sold out, right after this live stream, I'll hop on there and I'll add this shirt. I'd probably just need to find a different distributor for it. Not a problem though. All right, we said funk music. Let me find a track really quick. Actually, maybe this one will do. Hold on. Just something to play to. Whoops. All right. Let's see the bass together. Sorry. I want these notes to have a little bit more smack to them, so I'm going to add this low treble back way up. Yeah, you hear that? I'm playing all around the bass to kind of see how it reacts no matter what frequency range, and it's pretty consistent. I'm impressed. Ah! Ah! Yeah, I'm digging it. So we got a couple things in here. Yeah, super funky. Shame to say it, but sometimes I forget what a. Oh, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not a beast, but I'll take all the compliments I can get. One driver all the way up, no tweeters. Oh, pick style. You know, man, I'm a terrible funk pick. Let's give it a shot. Actually, here's the thing, Coyote. Remember, the cabinets are not on yet. Maybe we'll do that. Let's do one more. I'll jump over to a 5-string just to get something a little bit more modern, and then we'll do some rock stuff, and we'll check out the cabinet. Actually, Mike, I don't need to Skype with you, but are there tweeters in this? I mean, I'm assuming there are. I don't see an individual level control for them, but do these cabs have tweeters? And while you're doing that, let's try some. I'm gonna try to play funk with a pick. This is gonna be nasty. I'm embarrassed. That just sounds bad. Let's not do that. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Cool. I want to play something a bit more modern. So let me pull in a track to try. And also let me grab a 5-string just so we can, give that one a shot. Hold on. Yo, here's what I really need. I need a button that when I press it, it plays like the Jeopardy song. Beam, 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 beam. While I go switch instruments. Of course, it'll be done on bass only. Oh, I'm sorry. I just put new strings on this. So this is going to be this one's going to be rough. You know what? This one has an intro. Let's listen to it, and I'll tune this bass up. Ooh, let's turn the warp off. I love this song. This is a record I tracked with a gal named Kellyanne Keough. I think this is my favorite song on the record. Gosh, she's so good. She's been on tour the past 2 years or so with the Jonas Brothers. That's why we didn't get to do a tour of her own. But who knows, that might all change. All right, that's where I'm supposed to come in. So let me just finish tuning up here. Again, I'm sorry, I just put fresh strings on this bass. JJ, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Now that's a beauty. Yeah, this is an old bass, man. This was like my first custom shop signature bass. My friend John McGinney made it. You know what? I said I retired this instrument. I played my last gig with it on Christmas Eve. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to retire it. I'm not going to play it anymore. I decided not to do that, obviously. But I was like, this has kind of been like my main instrument for, I don't know, since 2007, really. All right, so let's get a nice. I want to go for like a deep R&B gospel-y kind of sound. Why is a bit of headstock missing? Headstock? Oh, that little cut. I got hungry. Took a bite out of it, bro. Come on. You don't ever do that? Want a little bit more zing on my notes, but not necessarily for the slap. Now, I'm going to, I don't have enough volume with this bass, and I don't want to start pushing it, so I'm just going to make it louder on my preamp on the computer. So I'm adding a little bit of gain. I haven't had to do this with the other ones. How does the low bass impact the low B? Well, let's check it out. Here. Low bass is off. Let's bring it all the way up. EQ center. Yeah, it's so full. It's so full, but it's not pushing. Okay, let's try along with the track.
But there's something about you that feels like coming home. 'Cause you got me feeling like this could be the real thing. Wanna say it, convey what I'm feeling inside. Got my heart singing all those sweet, sweet
No caps yet.
melodies. Feel it down in my soul, got me losing control when you touch me. But is it too soon?
I still want a little bit more volume from my bass.
To say what I'm thinking. Is it too soon to feel what I'm feeling? With you I'm safe, I can finally be myself. But when my fears get the best of me,
Yeah, I love that there's not a lot of zing in the top end.
so confused.
Actually, let me-
Patient, waiting for a moment.
I'm gonna come back to that. Remind me.
All I need is a sign. My heart is yours if you want it. 'Cause you got me feeling like this could be the real thing.
Actually, it's already on passive mode.
Wanna say it, convey what
All of
I'm
my basses are pretty low output.
inside. Got my heart singing all those sweet, sweet melodies. Feel it down in my soul, got me losing control when you touch me.
Can you guys hear the bass okay against this song?
To say what I'm thinking. Is it too soon to feel what I'm feeling? I can't help it, I want something more. Can't explain, but I can't ignore how you got me captivated.
Always gotta do the fade out ending. That was my favorite song to track on this record, man. So good. All right, sits perfectly. Yeah, I know, man. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed. It seems like nothing that I tweak, I go, ooh, that's not right. Like every time I change something, it's like, yeah, we might as well be playing with that. Sounds so good. Sounds a bit like I Was Made to Love Her. Yeah, a little bit. Jared, do you know what kind of string spacing on this bass? 21 millimeter. Yeah, this is a hard bass to play. It's 35-inch scale. First of all, I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7", about 150-ish pounds. And this bass is a beast. It looks huge on me because it is. It's 35-inch scale, and 21 millimeter spacing. So yeah, I was at a different place when I made this instrument. That is for sure. Man, okay, cool. So, you know what? Okay, everyone keeps asking about the cabinet. You guys want to talk about that a little bit? Or I'm sorry, try it out. You know, plug the microphone in and see what we get from the cab. Let me know. Talk amongst yourselves while I put this bass down. I was 5'7" once when I was 13. Yeah, asshole. You're not an asshole, Russell. I love you. Do I know? Oh, sorry, that was the last question. Do you guys want to go over the cabinet? Again, we don't have to. Here's the reason why I'm not hesitant, but when it comes to recording bass amps, what this microphone picks up is not what you're going to hear in the room. And that's why I don't like doing cabinet demos per se, because it's totally I mean, like you could be like, oh, it sounds great. And I could do this and be like, oh, it sounds terrible. Well, all I did was I moved the mic 2 inches away and pointed it away from the speaker. You know what I mean? So like I can influence how this cabinet sounds, how you're hearing it based on the microphone technique. And that kind of has nothing to do with how the cabinet sounds. It has everything to do with how I'm miking it. So anyways, I'm always kind of hesitant to do cabinet demonstrations and reviews because it's like, it's not really what I'm hearing in the room. But you know what we can do? Hold on. Actually, let's grab this bass. I can do this. I'm going to crank this thing. I'm going to have to turn off my microphone because if I don't, this thing's going to get really loud. Oh. Yeah, let's flatten everything out a little bit. All right, disclaimer's been given. You guys want to hear it? Let me see. Hold on, one thing. Gun to your head. Pick one pedal to take to just 1 gig. This one. The Source Audio Aftershock. It's a great overdrive, and the reason why you can't see it right now, but it's got a switch on it, so you got 3 different sounds, 1, 2, and 3. That's what that little switch in the middle is there. So I have overdrive, really, really distorted, and then like 9 Inch Nails, crunchy, kill yourself distortion. So with one pedal, I can get 3 different sounds. It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the DI. You guys aren't hearing my bass anymore. And now, sorry, it's gonna be clunky. I gotta plug it into this microphone. Okay. Let's drive up the gain a little bit. I have to drive up the gain a bit, apparently. Oh, yeah, because I'm not going into a cloud lifter. All right, no problem. It's like, why is driving my preamp so hard? It's on the recording side of things. Okay, I'm going to turn off my microphone. Here's the problem now is I don't really know what I'm hearing because I'm standing right next to the bass amp. So what you guys are hearing and what I'm hearing aren't the same thing. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to record a passage really quick. Just, I don't know, a couple of seconds. And then I need to listen back and see if I need to adjust anything with the microphone to get it to sit where I want it. But I'm going for a rock tone. Actually, I'm going to take my headphones off first. Here's how we'll do it. I'm going to get my tone with my ears, and then I'm going to try to get the microphone to replicate that. So, guys, just chill out for 1 second, all right? I'm at about... Sorry, I need to turn my mic off when I'm doing this. I'm at about maybe 50% volume at the moment. And it's plenty loud. It's pretty good. I don't know. Give me a second to play with it for a bit. I'm going to crank it all the way up. But I definitely feel like this could carry a smaller size room. Maybe not a big concert venue. Well, definitely not a big concert venue. But I'll let you know what kind of stage I think these cabinets can handle. So let me really push it. Sorry, I know I'm blowing you guys out. 1 second. That one note is louder, but I think it's just my room. Okay. Now, here's what I need to say about the cabinet. I don't know what you guys are hearing. Again, I can't tell. I need to record it. But man, it is full, and I really feel the headroom too. Brian Beller turned me on to this. If you don't know who Brian Beller is, he's a fantastic bass player with the Aristocrats, Guthrie Govan, and Death Clock, Satriani, Steve Vai. He's played with everybody. I've had him on my podcast as well, episode 60-something. Go check it out. But one thing I remember him saying was that headroom is key for bass amps, especially with rock. So in other words, like a guitar amp, you want low wattage, and you want to crank that son of a bitch within the inch of its life. Like just kick it till it's screaming. And that's when guitar amps sound good, right? Whereas bass amps, it's kind of the opposite. You want to have a ton of headroom, because when you push bass amps, they go, they just start to fart around on you, and it's not a pleasing sound like it is with guitar. So with bass, higher wattage, lots of speakers, and then just barely touch it. I mean, like if you don't go above 10% on your volume, cool. Headroom sounds better on bass. And so what I'm feeling as I'm playing this, like every note I'm hitting, I'm not feeling like it's gonna on me if I dig in a little bit more. I'm impressed. The headroom on this thing is really impressive, and the input gain is almost all the way up too. So headroom is key on this thing. Oh man! All right, let me just play around for a second to see what it sounds like, and then because I want to hear what the microphone's picking up. So hold on. Can I do this? I think I can. Shit, hold on. I'm trying to do this. I have Ableton Live open right now. I'm trying to record it here. I think I can. Yeah. Okay, let me listen back. Solo up this guy. Oh, shoot. Just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, that's about what I'd expect to hear from a mic'd up cab. I'd probably put a bit more top end into it, which you might not want on a like if I was taking a DI, I like the DI for the top end and for the bottom end, and I kind of use the cabinet for the character that's in the middle. But since we only have an amp track, I'm going to add a little bit more of that top sizzle to it, just to make it less dark. Play another song. We'll go a little bit more rock on this one. All right. Sorry, give me 1 second. Is it going to play? Come on. Okay, so on Ableton Live, when you import tracks, they automatically warp. And so it'll put it to whatever tempo you're currently at, which I don't want it to do. That's much better. Okay, here we go. All right, y'all, I'm sorry. I need to stop because this is way too loud. I'm standing next to it, and now I can't hear the track. So I was concerned, given its small footprint, like, I don't know, is this going to be able to handle it? Yeah, it totally can. This thing's fucking loud. All right, so I'm going to back it off a little bit just so I'm not killing myself. All right, let me crank it over here a little. Michael, someone just asked what the wattage is on these cabinets. I know that the head is 800 watts and 400 at 4 ohm. So I'm going to assume the cabinets are the same. These are probably 8 ohm cabinets that are 800 or 400 at 4 ohm. I don't know. If Michael, if you're still in here, if you can answer that for us, that'd be great. All right, I'm going to play this song. Everything sound okay to you guys?
Try to sleep. She's imperfectly perfect, at least to me, yeah. I visualize what she might be occasionally, but it's just a foggy dream now, shrouded in mystery. She's a crystal clear 1080 pixel under a veil. Yes, and I recognize when she comes around my mind, she's a perfect design, always waiting there for me. But reality rears its ugly head at me. I wake up from my dream, no one next to me. Instead I just lay back and try to sleep.
I always forget this part.
Surrounded by the light, dancing on the sheets. There's a tower made of ivory looming over me. While the grass is always greener, I can't see why I can't get no relief. Instead, I just lay back and try to dream. sleep. I guess I'll just lay back and try to sleep.
I'm actually really interested to hear what that sounded like when I watch this back, because I have no idea what you guys are hearing. I have no idea what that tone was like, so it's kind of fun for me. Interesting. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. I explored this thing as much as I was going, as much as I want to. I mean, I can't think of anything it's not going to do. Very cool amp. Is there anything that you guys want to hear? Yeah. Going direct is very sterile. That's not a bad thing, but it's just the way that it sounds. It's kind of like face value. Whereas, amplifiers add character. So again, when I'm like mixing in the studio, that's the way I like to do it. Is I use the DI for the low end and for the top, because it's clean and it's perfect. And then I use the amplifier for the character, kind of the mids, low mids, and that kind of stuff. Mario, hey, good to have you. Better late than never. We're kind of at the end here, but you could rewatch any of this if you want to. And yes, JC, you're right. That is a very, very strange song. It's in 7, jazz fusion out of nowhere. The guy that I play with, his name's Bill Burrell. Hey, by the way, any of the songs you heard today, they're all lessons. Sorry. They're all songs I've recorded for other artists, and when I record with them, I make them give me their songs with no bass on it once they're done mixing, so that I can transcribe them and use them for students and lessons. So if you like any of the songs you heard today and you like the way I played them, at thebassist.net you can learn. I'll show you exactly what I did. That's kind of what the whole point of it is. What size are these speakers? These are 5 inches. 5-inch little guys. They're so cute, so adorable. I love them. Sounds like Rush, yeah, a little bit. So I'm just going back and looking at your guys' comments. We can wrap this up now, or we can keep going. It's totally up to you guys. Is there anything that you didn't hear me do the past 2 hours that you want to hear? Are there any sounds we didn't cover? Let me know. What does the low B sound like? You know what? I haven't done that yet. We've only heard it through the head. Let's try it through the amp. Let me grab a 5-string. Gosh, my drumming is so bad. Yeah, let's see. All right, bring this guy back in. Active. It sounds huge is what it sounds like. Let me crank up the volume a little bit. Yeah, that B string sounds huge. Yeah, sounds awesome. Harmonics distortion? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Hold on, I just need to grab a cable. We are making it up, people. Hey, you guys doing good? I need to run the bass instead of into here. I'm gonna go into this. God, that backing track has pissed me off. That bass sounds so... I did such a bad job with that. Ugh. That's how you know this is a live show, people. I'm not fixing anything. Need to practice more is what I need to do. Hey, speaking of which, I practice 3 times a week on Twitch. There's a link in the description you guys can check out. But basically, it's hold on. / I'm trying to type the URL. Twitch.tv/Jamie Lewis, the bassist. If you guys click on this, I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's kind of like this live stream. Actually, no, it's nothing like this live stream. What I've been doing is basically song requests. You can request any song. I play along to covers, and usually I overplay. Usually I'm just going to town and doing anything because 99% of the songs that people request, I don't know them. I don't know what songs they are. So I'm just playing along to something I've never heard. It's a lot of fun. You get to watch me sweat. You get to request songs, and we just hang out for hours. I usually stream about 4 to 6 hours Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you guys like the live stream, I don't do them here on YouTube more than once a month, I think. Once or twice a month. But on Twitch, I'm 3 times a week. So if you want to come hang, that's the place to do it. All right. Yeah, let's hear what the distortion. One second. All right, I think I've got this patched correctly. Let's see. We should be hearing something. Okay, so one of the things you wanted to hear was this aftershock going through it. Again, I've got like basically 3 sounds. The first one is just kind of like, well, it's a bit hard because this bass is hotter. Hold on. Again, this is kind of the hard part. It's like balancing the amp, my headphones. I don't really know what I'm hearing. I'm going to take my headphones off really quick. Hold on. Someone was asking what that low B sounds like. JC, actually, copyright, no. Here's what happens on Twitch. On YouTube, my money is made through monetization, right? So copyrighted material demonetizes my video. I can't make any money. So what's the point? Exactly. So on YouTube, you don't put copyrighted material. On Twitch, as soon as the stream is over, they just mute it because they don't have algorithms set up to pay the right people. So if I play copyrighted material on YouTube, it's not illegal. They just pay the right person. Twitch doesn't have that set up, so they just mute it. And that's okay. During the show, I'm not on Twitch to make money on monetization afterwards. It's not how Twitch works. Twitch, I make money during the show. So everyone wins. As soon as the show's over, the content gets muted. Well, that's okay. Nobody goes on Twitch and watches yesterday's show. That's what YouTube is for. You know, so that's kind of the workaround for it. But yeah, it's not illegal or anything. During the show, you can hear the music, but if you watch it after the fact, yeah, it's gonna be muted. Some of them. And I'm sorry, somebody asked about the low B string. It's pretty big. I said I had 2 distortion sounds, so that's the first one. This one's a bit more crunchy. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But again, I can't hear what the microphone is interpreting for you guys. I'll have to listen to it after. Do I publish my After Effects settings? Aftershock. Yeah, that's a thing you can do with these pedals. I totally forgot. I haven't plugged that thing in a couple of years. Do I sell the red hats? No, but I should put my name on it. The Aftershock. No, I don't have them published, but I probably should. I'll talk to the guys at Source. They're my friends, so yeah, I'll figure out how to do that. Get some of my settings in there. But pretty much I have, like I said, this one is the again, you guys can't really see, but this little switch here that toggles back and forth. On channel 1 is my overdrive, and then in the middle, it's the same, because it's a digital pedal, you can change the patching. So I have an overdrive going into a distortion. So level 1, I think of it in 3 stages. Level 1 is just overdrive. Level 2 is overdrive going into a bit of a crunchy distortion. And then level 3 is that level 2 going into just kill it. That's what the third setting is. Yeah, it's cool. Got to head to a meeting. Hey, Daniel, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the great streams. And yeah, we'll see you on Twitch, dude. Appreciate you. Daniel's one of my regulars. He comes over, requests songs all the time. Hold on. There was one over here, so they can't mute. Oh, JC, yeah, you were asking. No, same thing on YouTube. If I start playing Spotify, they can't pull it off. Not until my stream is over. I know Facebook, Instagram, they have algorithms that'll do it. But on YouTube, if I start doing something that is owned by someone else, YouTube waits until it gets loaded, then it processes it, and then it can mark it, find it with the algorithm. But yeah. I love this kind of tuning. I wish I was in one of those kind of bands. Maybe someday. Well, hey, everyone. That's pretty much it. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Again, I will be live tomorrow and Friday and Monday, and pretty much every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just not here, not on YouTube. You have to go to my Twitch channel. Okay, there's a link in the description. You can click on that. Also, if you like this C Ford Phil Jones bass, I want to say it right, the BP-800 up here, you can check them out. There's a link to both of them in the description. Go to their website, and I think they have a promo right now. You get a free t-shirt with every order. So go check it out. And thank you, especially thanks to Michael. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate your help, your answers, and thank you, Phil Jones Bass, for sending this over here. It's a great sounding amp. This is incredible equipment. Where would I use it? I think that's important. I think it's important for not just playing with it and be like, oh, that was cool, but really, like, what's the takeaway? When do I play this? Small gigs, clubs, weddings for this speaker configuration. Anything that's more than like 50 people, like a decent sized club, which we're not playing currently because it's COVID times, if you're watching this in the future. But yeah, I think a sizable venue, if there's not a PA system, I would grab a 410. Because again, this is really the size of like a 210. So I would say, yeah, it's a good replacement for a 210. It's a higher fidelity 210 speaker. And again, it's not adding color. It's not adding vibe. It's just, like Michael said, I can tell it's taking what my bass is sending it and making it audible and accentuating, or not accentuating anything. I love the top end, so this is a great slap. If they have this in a DI form, I don't do a lot with amps. Most of the stuff I do is DI. I stopped using an amp on stage maybe 12 years ago. I've been in-ears. My in-ears are broken. That's why I'm wearing these big cans. But I've been in-ears in a DI since 2007 or 9. More than 12 years. Shit, a long time. So for me, I would only use this on small gigs where there's no house system, and I just need to fill out, 50 people or less. I would have to gig with it to, see how it interprets with the drums and a live guitar amp and all that stuff. But man, I'm confident. It's not farting out when I drive it. There is no driving it, So very clean. Yeah, I think this would be great for a cover band. That's the best place I can think of off the top of my head. If you have a lot of different sounds you need to be able to get, and clarity is really important. Yeah, that's the cover band. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. I appreciate all of you. Much love, and I hope to see you tomorrow at my Twitch stream. What time am I going live tomorrow? earlier. So tomorrow's going to be around this time, 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific. So like 3 hours ago. And I go for like 4, 5, 6 hours. I'm there for a long time on Twitch. So if you want to come hang, doesn't matter what time zone you're in, we can chill. So thanks so much, Coyote. Appreciate you, JC, Alejandro, Jared, Daniel, Mark. You guys are great. Take care. Keep it low. And we'll see you next time, amigos.